Hi everyone and welcome to Service for the Community. I'm your host Matt Blown. Today we have Joe DeLong from Rotary, Kitty Hudeberg from Kiwanis, and Chandler Fleming from Optimist Club. How's everybody doing today?
Fantastic.
Doing great.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Well, Joel, we're going to start with you in the Rotary. The first thing you guys want to talk about was the Illuminate Clarkston Downtown. So tell us about that.
Well, Clarkston Rotary started here in 1940, and from the very inception, they started decorating a tree down in front of the old Township Hall. Then they did one at the corner of Washington and Main Street, and over the time it evolved into decorating all of the light posts in downtown Clarkston. And finally, in 2013, we started an initiative to start to illuminate downtown Clarkston with the large snowflakes. And over that period of time, it took us 3 years and about $16,000 to be able to pay for it. And we look forward to seeing them up every year. It used to be that Rotarians would actively get out and climb light poles on ladders and do it. And now, with the size of the decorations, we allow the village DPW to do our work for us now.
Awesome. So you guys have been doing this for quite a while then.
Yep.
This has been a big passion project. Sounds
Absolutely.
like.
It was a fun time, and it's still fun to see them up.
Well, I got to imagine it adds a certain festivity to the season to see all the different lights up and all that.
Yeah, and then the businesses have now gotten very proactive in decorating the fronts of the stores to match everything.
I was going to say a lot of them are doing the, I don't know what it's called, but it's the lights that kind of go down the whole front of the building.
The whole buildings,
Yep.
yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Kitty, now we're going to go to you. Tell us a little bit about the Kiwanis Toy Drive they have coming up.
Well, on November 29th, we're having a toy drive at the Oakhurst Country Club. Basically, it's bring an unwrapped toy, $10 to $15, somewhere around there, not too expensive. Get in. It is a happy hour. Hors d'oeuvres are going to be served. There's going to be a cash bar, and mingle with members from the Tree of Dreams and Neighbor for Neighbor charities, and also Kiwanis members. Learn more about our charities and what possibly you can do to help us and what we can do to help the kids in the communities that we serve. It's going to be a fun time, and if you've got some time, come on out.
Awesome. Is there any kind of toys that you guys like don't want? I think I asked in a previous episode because I think I could be wrong, but I want to say Toys for Tots sometimes doesn't want weapons or something like that. Is there any toys that people should not bring or should avoid?
Try to stick with maybe board games, balls, not too many electronics. If it requires a battery, please provide batteries also. These are for underprivileged kids, and sometimes when you get a toy and it requires batteries or plugged in all the time, it doesn't work that well.
Sure. Is there a certain age range that the toys kind of hover around, or is it kind of all ages?
It's all ages. We're going from, I think, one infant to 15, 16.
Okay.
So board games. Everybody loves board games.
Sure.
Get back into the family values and work together. Educational things are always good, of course. Build literacy and math skills. But
Great.
what would you have liked when you were a kid?
Ooh. I mean, board games would be solid. I definitely enjoyed playing some board games when I was little. I'm sure there's action figures and different kind of various fads that I would have loved toys for. So yeah, for me it'd probably be like action figures and things like that.
Okay.
It'd probably be what I would want as a kid, that little younger kid.
So when you're shopping, just think about what you would have liked and what you would have played with. So that's what I do.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Chandler, you want to start talking about Optimist, about the different scholarships they have going on. So tell us about that.
Sure. So every year the Optimist gives out about $5,000 of scholarships, just direct scholarships that aren't related to any contest or anything like that. So we really have a big push that before Christmas, stop by your guidance office at the high school and fill out a scholarship application. It's for $1,000, and last year we kind of had an off year. We really did not have that many kids apply. So, but come on out and check with your guidance counselor, and we're going to be doing a big push on that in the next couple weeks for people to apply for a scholarship.
Is there certain requirements for the scholarship? Like, is there any GPA or other academics or after school things that are required, or that kind of play a factor into some of that?
You know, we were just talking about that, and we wanted our scholarship to be a little different, that all students, no matter what their GPA, would be a candidate, that we're going to give some more heavy weighting this year to things like community service and Outlook and kind of a more non-traditional scholarship. So, you know, if you have a 3.0 or a 2.6, you would still be eligible for this scholarship.
Okay, so it sounds like it's kind of more service kind of based.
More service-oriented and kind of more non-traditional.
Awesome. And you said $5,000, and is that just kind of divvied up based on how many apply, kind of?
You know, we are looking for 5 different students for
Okay.
$1,000 apiece.
Okay.
So,
All right. Awesome. Joel, we're going to go back to you because you're also going to talk with us a little bit about some scholarships that Rotary has going
Yeah.
on.
Each year we pick candidates or students from Renaissance High School, more towards the May-June timeframe, and hopefully, based upon their initiatives, help them to try and get into a college and further their education. And it's a great opportunity, and we look forward to it.
So I'm going to ask you some of the same questions. Is there certain requirements like service or GPA or anything like that that you guys are kind of looking for?
We look toward the administration at the Renaissance High School and the teachers to help us in the selection process
Okay.
in determining who might be very qualified and eligible.
Okay. Cool. Is there a certain number of scholarships you guys are looking to give out?
We typically will give anywhere up to three scholarships,
Okay.
$1,000 or $2,000, depending on the number that are
Sure.
applying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Now, I think it kind of tails into scholarships a little bit, but maybe not. But you also want to talk about the Rotary Youth Exchange?
Absolutely. Rotary International is really proactive in having students from both the United States and international countries coming into their country. So right now we have a student in from Italy and one from northern France that are here at the high school. They come in August and they stay until about June. They stay with 4 host families over that period of time, so that the families that are hosting have an opportunity for their children to meet somebody from another country, to learn another culture and another language. And the same thing that we've had outbound students. We just had one that came back from Chile. We've had one that was over in Italy. And it's a great opportunity for high school students in an international world now to get that kind of experience that we would not have been able to have had when we were growing up. And it's there, and we will welcome anybody that would like to find out more information about it by going out to clarksonrotary.org or contacting one of our Rotarians, Jeff Lichty, and learning more about what they can do as far as international service and travel.
Awesome. Is every year of high school eligible, or do you guys kind of prefer it be a sophomore or junior?
Well, they
or?
typically like to look toward freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, because by the time you've reached your senior year, you're looking either to go on to continue your education in college here. It's a tough one because a lot of the seniors like to have all of their last year's activities in their own school.
Sure.
So juniors are really probably the ones that would take the best advantage of this.
Okay. Now, I think you guys are always looking for, I believe you guys' ideal situation is that when the students are exchanged, the families kind of participate. So it's kind of an exact exchange. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but.
The nice thing about it is that the networking allows the families, both the host family and the outbound students' parents, to meet with those parents. And we've had a lot of them that have traveled internationally and stayed with the other families and developed a network and friendship that have lasted years.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great opportunity for them to just kind of, because going through different areas and stuff, to just kind of get a taste of a little bit of everything and just kind of become a little more well-rounded.
And there are international students here right now. We have 53 clubs in our district, both in southeastern Michigan and southern Ontario, and they have opportunities to get together as a group and meet each other and get to know each other and know more about their countries and where they are coming from.
Awesome.
That's great.
That's cool. Do you take adults?
Yeah, I'd like to go.
So, Kitty, the next thing Kiwanis wanted to talk about was the holiday extravaganza. So tell me about that.
It's exactly what it sounds like. The Pontiac Host Committee has put on a parade for the past 36 years. It's not necessarily Pontiac, but it's surrounding areas. What they do is there is a fun festival from 8 o'clock till about 10:30. Kids can come, it's free. There's face painting, crafts, arts, different things. I believe they're having refreshments also this year. And it's just to get the communities together and to celebrate the upcoming holidays. And then after that, there is a parade through downtown Pontiac on Saginaw. Kiwanis is participating in the parade. Hopefully it won't be too cold. And we are helping out with the craft section of the Fun Festival. So if you've got time to spare, December 2nd, it's a Saturday, so kids can come out, get in the spirit, start
Sure.
the holiday off.
Well, it sounds like you guys got a lot of different things going on, so it sounds like there's kind of fun for all ages, so to speak, and it sounds like a very big kind of family event.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're here for, to get those kids involved.
And one more time, what's the date and the time?
December 2nd, from the Fun Festival runs from 8 till about 10:30, and the parade starts at 11.
And I heard a rumor that there's going to be some parades from the parade company from Detroit there. Have you heard that?
I don't know, but that would be awesome.
I heard that rumor, so it's not substantiated, but I heard that there might be some bigger floats from
So there's
That would be
potential
great.
scoop here on
There's
Service
potential
Road.
scoop, but somebody did tell me that, to the best of my recollection.
If you hit, Holiday Extravaganza 2017, you'll get more scoop. You can sign up to participate. They are asking for volunteers to dress up in costume.
Of course.
So who knows?
Is Santa going to be there?
I imagine so, yes.
Okay.
Rumor has it, huh?
Awesome. Chandler, next you want to talk about the essay and oratorical contest that the Optimist Club puts on.
Sure. So every year the Optimist does, it's kind of a national project for us. We have an essay contest that's coming up pretty soon, and thought that over Christmas break would be the ideal time for high school students to work on their essay and turn it in. The deadline will be right after Christmas break. So again, there's a scholarship associated with that also, that if you go far enough up and make it to nationals, I believe it goes all the way up to $20,000. So it's a great scholarship, great opportunity to express yourself in writing, and then come the springtime, we'll follow up with an oratorical contest and give speeches and so forth. So we're always excited about those two particular competitions. Think it's a great way for our local talent to really show their talent and be able to express throughout the state what wonderful people we have here in Clarkston.
You may have said this, but is there certain grade levels that participate in one or the other, or is it kind of
It's a
all
high
ages?
school-based contest. We do welcome 8th grade and younger, but you won't be qualified to go on to districts if you win. But we do welcome those applications.
Awesome. Typically, how many high school kids do you have maybe participate in one of those competitions?
It's kind of hit or miss each year. I think we had about 35 or 40 essays last year, so we had a really good turnout for that. And the top 3 or so come and present theirs at our morning meeting. And man, some really cool essays were written last year. A lot of creativity.
Awesome. So Chandler, the last thing you wanted to talk about with Optimist, I'm sorry, Joel.
Yes.
Okay.
Circling back.
Okay.
Last thing you want to talk about with Rotary was the newspaper draft.
Absolutely. Clarkston Rotary has always sold a newspaper out on the streets since 1940. A Goodfellow type newspaper was printed by the Clarkston News, and over the last 40 years, it's transitioned into the newspaper sales on the December 1st and 2nd of this year. We'll have 70 volunteers out on the streets, both Friday and Saturday. And then we also have Boy Scout Troop 199, which will be at the Clarkston High School Christmas Craft Show. They'll also be at the library for the holiday book sale, and they'll also be at Calvary Lutheran Church for their garden club's Christmas green sales. And then we have Cub Scout Pack for $4.99 at Neiman's on Friday night and Saturday. And it's a great opportunity for younger Boy Scouts or young boys to able to have an active part in community service and learning what it's about. 100% of what we collect over those 2 days transitions into what we call our Shoes for Kids program, which is on December 9th out at Oakland Woods Baptist Church. We rely on Lighthouse here in Clarkston and also the social workers and teachers to find kids that need a little extra special attention. We sign them up. They are sent an invitation letter, and typically we have 350 kids signed up for shoes, boots, hats, and gloves. The Optimists will be there with their OptiSocks program with new socks. We also have hats and gloves. The Lions Club will be there with free eye exams for the entire family. We have Mark Kelly from MPK Photography that last year was fortunate enough to be able to receive a grant from a family to take family portraits or a picture with Santa Claus. We have local dentists that have donated generously toothbrushes and toothpaste. And we need, for that event, we need 190 volunteers just the day of the event. We typically have 30 to 35 kids every half hour from 9 till 3:30.
Wow.
And I can say that the community's been very generous. In the last 20 years that I've been the chairperson, the community has donated over $250,000, and we've provided for over 8,000 Clarkston school kids.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So
great.
it takes a village, as they say, or a whole community to get enough volunteers. That's 270 volunteers over the 4 days for the newspaper sales, the setup, and then the Shoes for Kids. And if anybody's really interested, they can go out to clarkstonrotary.org. We have articles on both of them, and we have Sign Up Genius, where if anybody is interested in volunteering to sell either newspapers or help either on the Friday night setup on December 8th or during the Shoes for Kids on December 9th, would welcome them to come out and see what we do.
Yeah. It sounds like quite the event with Friday and Saturday with you guys and the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
Sounds like quite the extensive
Yeah.
2 days
Yeah.
that really has a powerful impact when the shoes event
Yeah.
comes later on.
And we have a lot of local businesses that are very generous as far as helping us providing food or drink or whatever it needs for our volunteers. And it's been a very impactful type of program for us.
Yeah, it sounds like it's doing some great work.
Yeah, thank you.
So Kitty, the last thing you guys want to talk about with Kiwanis was blessings in a backpack.
Oh, first, I kind of want to backpack on yours, or
Sorry.
backpack. As a new group, we would welcome the opportunity to kind of join with you.
Oh, fantastic.
So
We'd like to explore
We'll-
those opportunities.
We'll get in touch with
Yeah.
you for that.
That's
But,
great.
The Blessings in a Backpack, if you're not familiar with it, it is a program that feeds the free and reduced school lunch kids for the weekend or holiday, anytime that school is not in session. And it's not well known, or some people do, some people don't know, but a lot of our school-age children that are eligible for the free and reduced program don't eat on the weekend. They go home and they're looking forward to coming back to school because they'll get a lunch or a breakfast. So what happens is the Blessings in a Backpack organization purchases food from local stores, and then they pack it in backpacks. And the packing is generally on Wednesday so that its delivery is on Friday. But in order to do that, obviously there needs to be funds raised, and nothing's ever free. And so we're looking to take on the Clarkston Blessings in a Backpack golf outing. Typically happens in September, but we're in the beginning stages of that one, so look forward to that. And we're looking to potentially adopt a school in Waterford also. It's kind of crazy when you hear the figures. You think Clarkston doesn't have a food problem,
Right.
but when we looked at it, it was like 20% of the
Wow.
kids. Waterford's higher, more like 54%.
Wow.
But you know, if you don't think about that, and when was the last time you ate? You had breakfast, right? You're going to have lunch after this,
Right.
and it's kind of an epidemic, and it's not one that's well known.
Right.
So that's what we're hoping to get really rolling this year.
Sure.
But again, as a new club, it's like we need some volunteers, we need people, we need ideas. The fundraiser portion of it, we've got to expand that. You know, selling newspapers or reaching out to other service organizations. How are you doing this? How well is this received by the public?
Sure.
Are there things that we can help you with? We've got the people. You've already got the happening. You've got the event. You know, maybe we can help with it.
Partnership.
Yeah, that's what we all need to do is get together.
Is there a certain age group that listens to the backpack targets? Like, is it elementary and maybe elementary middle school, or is it kind of more wide ranging? Or
Generally, right now, I think in Clarkston, it is the elementary schools. There's 6 schools that participate. Waterford only has 1, and it is an elementary. So by the time you get to middle school and higher, they're not quite so receptive on getting the backpacks or, you know, making sure it comes back.
Gotcha.
You know, the parents do have to agree to the program.
Gotcha.
So it gets a little tougher as the kids get older. But the need is still there.
Right. Chandler, the last thing Optus wants to talk about is the ice rink. So tell us a little bit about that.
All right, so I'm hoping for cold weather because I like ice skating and stuff. So sometime in December, based upon the weather, we'll go and put the ice skating rink down in Depot Park. It's great to see people just come out and skate and families get together. So we just need some really cold weather. So I'm hopeful before Christmas we'll have it up and people can be out there skating.
Just not December 2nd.
Not December 2nd, maybe December 3rd.
3rd is fine. 3rd is fine.
And really just to dovetail in, just the great deal of joy and happiness it is to be able to partner with the Rotary Club on their shoes program. Providing socks is just a small portion of it. And I do want to challenge all the optimists out there to jump in, and I know for sure some of us will be there to help out, both with the paper drive, but also handing out those shoes and socks and screening people. But just want to send the challenge to the community, to both Optimist Club members and to non-Albatross Club members to see if we can wrap ourselves around this event. It's an awesome event that the Rotary puts on, and see if we can develop even greater partnerships.
I appreciate that.
Awesome. Before we wrap up the show, does anyone have any other final thoughts or anything else they want to mention?
I'm out of thoughts.
Well,
I would say that at least go around and mention what time does your organization meet? What time and where, what days?
Our Clarkston Rotary meets at Buckshot's Bar and Grill at the corner of Andersonville and White Lake Road on Monday nights at 6:30 till 8. Typically, we do have guest speakers coming in on informative subjects. I know Wednesday night we hosted at the Independence Township Library a open forum lecture on the opioid crisis, and we're looking to partnership with the library or with other organizations to see if we can't get more speakers into the community on subjects that are important to the community.
Great.
It's awesome. Kiwanis meets, pardon me, on Wednesdays, the second and fourth Wednesday at 6:30 at night at Oakhurst Country Club in Clarkston. Feel free to come out and join us.
And then the Optimists, we meet every Wednesday morning at 7:30 at the American Legion on M15 Ordenville Road. Come on out. All are welcome to come and visit, and we're looking for new members. And just kind of the one last thing, as I was sitting here thinking, is I do want to make an appeal to those who are looking for a grant. We are anticipating handing out several large grants to the community. Our focus is really things that will affect kids. I know in the past we've done things, grants for equipment for schools. We gave a grant at 1 year for Blessings in the Backpack. and other things. So, if you have a need, look around, contact us at our website, and apply for a grant. We'd be glad to consider any proposal.
Awesome. Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming by today. And that's all the time we have for Service for the Community, and we'll see you next time.